Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Zach of Dark Hunt Entertainment, and I should have made this video a lot earlier when the movie was more fresh on my mind. But hey, what am I gonna do about it? Get myself a time machine? But I saw Warfare over the weekend, and it is a very good war movie. Like one of the best that I have ever seen. I don't like it quite as much as Hacksaw Ridge, which is still my number one favorite war movie, but it does something better than that of Hacksaw Ridge or a lot of other war movies too, for that matter. It like is actually grounded, gritty, and realistic with the way that it shows the combat in that movie. And to give like a very basic premise, there is no background melodrama that is shown of all these characters or whatnot. You do not see them start off in high school or anything like that, going through basic training. No, the premise is that it just takes place all around one single firefight in Iraq during the Iraq War, and it starts off first of all with them kind of leading up to that moment as they just go watching some sexy yoga video. So it kind of took me by surprise as well, but got a little bit of a chuckle out of me. And it showed, honestly, a little bit of a perspective on how it is that troops overseas, and especially in the front lines of what they're able to do as far as entertainment goes, especially right before they have to go out and do their mission and whatnot. And they end up tipping off the local militants, and that's when that they end up getting rained down on them, a whole bunch of gunfire and other stuff. And there is one point of where that they have to try and exit the building, and I don't know if this is like spoilers or anything like that, or if it's just really predictable par for the course. But I guess here's a spoiler warning if you really care for it. But an IED goes off, and the way that it portrays them recovering from the IED, they don't just jump up like 30 seconds later like a whole bunch of jackrabbits, just quick recovery or anything like that, like in a Marvel movie or something. No, it takes them like probably a good solid 5-10 minutes to recover, even for those who are not injured. The way that they portray it is just so raw and gritty, as you kind of feel for these troops in the way that they have suffered just a close by encounter with an explosion, as would realistically be the case in this type of a situation. And yeah, the gunfight and all that stuff is like just slow paced and drudgerous. I mean, honestly, it's hard for me to put in words exactly what all goes on. It's kind of something. The best way for me to put it is the same way that a war veteran family member of mine said about warfare overseas. It cannot really be explained, it can only be experienced. And I feel kind of similar way with this movie, although except you're obviously not there in person. But for you to like get the full explanation of the movie, you just have to see it for yourself. But if you're really into war movies, then I really suggest looking at this one. And that's pretty much why I'm doing this video, is because I really would like it to make a nice bit of a profit at the box office, so as to encourage these types of movies to be made more. But I guess other things to cover is that it's not particularly mean-spirited, nor is it that gung-ho pro-America. It's a love letter to the American soldiers, mostly, especially these ones in this one single firefight. And dang it. It does not show the troops being absolutely lovey-dovey with the citizens of the house that they end up having to take garrison in. It does not show them being like blatant, outright assholes to them either, in the same way that Full Metal Jacket wants to portray the soldiers in that movie. It's overall kind of neutral, if not leaning more towards a bit of sympathy for the troops themselves. Not a condoning of the Iraq War itself. Heck no. I mean, how popular of an opinion would that be? I mean, it'd pretty much be box office suicide if a movie was trying to actually make some case that, oh, the Iraq War was justified. So that wasn't the intention of this movie at all. So if you're really like wanting to think about the political side of this movie, well, there isn't any real political side of it addressed at all. There isn't any pro or anti-Iraq war messaging going on. And it's good for that reason, and good for the firefights, and especially the realism of it all. And honestly, this has probably got to be my favorite role of Will Poulter's. Will Poulter is the name of the guy who acted as Eustace in The Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And honestly, I thought he was very stiff, and it just did not work for it. Excuse me. It just did not work for me, his performance as Eustace in that movie, as of how stiff and cringy he was on screen. He was, of course, better in Maze Runner, and he was kind of subpar as Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and kind of cheesy, but still at least better than Eustace. But this has definitely got to be my favorite role of his. The role that he plays as the American. And was he like born in the UK, or was he? I cannot remember what his origins of birth was. If he was born in the British Isles, or if he was born in America. But if he was British, if he is British, well then he puts on a very convincing American accent and puts on a pretty good performance as just a soldier that's essentially just trying to get through it all. And that's really what this movie is about. Just this squad of soldiers just trying to get through and survive through and ultimately escape out of a firefight. So what would be my rating of this? 9 out of 10, honestly. I would highly recommend it. I would give it a solid 10 if only it had just a little bit more of what I expect out of a fuller, like, war movie. The fuller package of a war movie. But it's still pretty good. Like, the 9 out of 10 is nothing to sneeze at. Let me just put it that way. But definitely go watch this movie. Highly recommend it. I'm Zach of Dark Hunt Entertainment. See y'all later. God bless.